Does your sink stink? You might think, well, that's a weird question to ask. Well, I would have thought so too. But you know what? I have this problem with a bathroom sink of mine. I had a plumber come over to fix something else with the toilet. Anyway, I asked him about this sinky stink and the fact that it wouldn't drain properly. It's just a little slower at draining. He said, well, some people have plumbing where the plumbing might not have been hooked together properly, and maybe that's why it didn't flow. I was like, oh, okay. I'm not going to tear that apart and pay for someone to come over and fix that. So I thought, what is the problem here? Well, you know what? I'm an infectious disease doc. I'm Dr. Deborah Murray, and I have worked in hospital infection control for more than the past 7 years. And during that time, I'm quite aware of hospital-related outbreaks of infection. Oops, I should have brought this to me. But, I mean, look at this one. Outbreak of multi-drug resistant Pseudomonas associated with sinks in the ICU. Water as a source of colonization and infection in resistant pathogen with a focus on sinks. Healthcare outbreaks associated with water reservoirs and infection prevention strategies. And I've had to, research this because of different outbreaks in hospitals and so forth. So I'm quite aware of the problem. But a stinky sink, well, what the heck is causing that? The first thing I'm thinking of, there's got to be some bad bacteria down in there. So now you can tear apart your sink and see if you've got a bunch of gunk in there. I did that. Okay, so you might have already determined that maybe there's some stuff stuck in the bottom of this pop-up sink drain, or maybe down in this, what is it called, a pee drain. You see where there's a loop there in your drain under your sink. So you might have shut the water off, see the water shut off, and then unhooked your pop-up sink drain where you unhook it there, and you could take that pop-up piece out, clean that out. You could run some tubing you could get from the hardware store down the drain to see if there's a clog in down there. And you know what? It still developed this problem of stinking after so long. I tore it apart again, and there really wasn't anything in there. So one day, through my resources and blogs and things like that, a microbiologist gave me this formula for stinky. Well, he didn't give me the formula for a stinky sink. He gave me this formula for what's bound to kill bacteria and fungus and so forth. Well, it turns out bleach is alkaline with a high pH, and bleach actually works better at killing if it's at a lower pH. So I had this recipe for combining bleach and water and then adding some vinegar, just plain old white vinegar to that to bring the pH down, and so the bleach would work more. I've used this on various things since I saw this on this blog, and I've mixed together the solutions. I usually mix some dilute bleach with, I dilute it with water, and then I add the acetic acid at the end. And of course I wear goggles and gloves and things of that nature and try not to breathe in anything. Well, it turns out for preparation of this video, anyway, I couldn't find my resource of the microbiologist who recommended it, and all I could find is, warning, danger, don't mix bleach with acetic acid, which is vinegar, because it could form dangerous chloride gases, which so happens to be gases that were used in World War II to poison people, and they can have assorted side effects. So I thought, well, geez, what am I going to do for this video then? What about my formula that's worked so well? Am I going to quit using this solution? No, because I actually found another microbiologist reference that talks about the reason that and the reasoning behind acidifying the bleach by adding the acetic acid. So I'm not promoting that. I can't promote that for this type of video. All I can really tell you is to consider using dilute bleach. And the reference I got is like, you can read the back of a bleach bottle, right? 1/3 cup of bleach per gallon of water. And so don't use my recipe, which is 1 part bleach, mix it with, I don't know, 6 or 8 parts of water, and then add another part of vinegar to that, because it could be hazardous. Am I going to stop using it? Probably no. I'll just wear a mask and be very careful because I know it works well. But for my recommendation for you, if you have this problem, you've taken apart the drains, you can't find anything in there, no hair and gobs of gook stuck in there, but it keeps stinking because obviously there's something in the pipes or something somewhere where there's likely bacterial overgrowth. So you can use the dilute bleach, you can pour it down your drain and just let it kind of sit in there for an hour or so, and then flush your drain really well. And how often do you need to do it? Well, as often as it takes to get rid of the smell. The smell is just an indicator that you could have bacterial overgrowth. And you think, I'm an infectious disease doc, why don't I get rid of this problem? Well, if you don't know it, infectious disease physicians aren't made of a lot of money, and because they use their brains more and nobody wants to pay for that. Any event, I'm not going to pay a plumber to take apart all my plumbing to make sure it's flowing in the right direction to get rid of this problem. So I'm just going to disinfect my sink. Have a great day. Thank you.